Hi. Hey, hello. It's Blenderbat, and this is the second part of the ASMR Speed Paint series. I hope that you're enjoying it as much as I am. It's a pretty cool experiment for me. So, today, instead of whispering, I'm going to do some soft speaking instead to kind of see how that works out. There'll probably be maybe a pause here or there to kind of let the triggers filter through a little bit more. Like in the last video, there's going to be overlaid sound of pre-recorded triggers. In this case, it's going to be a lot of drawing noises first and foremost. I recorded as I was drawing one of my daily comics, and my cat decided to hop in my lap in the middle of that. So I managed to capture some of her purring, which personally is a very relaxing sound. So I hope you like it. And then there's also going to be some typing sounds, as well as just general tapping and smoothing that will all be kind of overlaid. Then when it comes to the soft speaking, I thought that I might also try to slip in a few trigger words and maybe repeat them a little bit. For people who are kind of unfamiliar with that concept, trigger words are usually delivered in a way that they provide kind of an echo, 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 echo. And sometimes they trail off, sometimes they don't. And I'm going to try and kind of feel it out. So definitely let me know in the comments what you think. And if you have any favorite trigger words that you'd like to hear, include them. And we'll see if maybe I can put them into perhaps the next installment of the ASMR Speed Paint series. So, just to start things off, this piece is a fan piece that was requested from one of my patrons as their monthly sketch on Patreon. And it's a fan piece of the character Sickle from the Swords comic by Matthew Willis. He's an artist from New Zealand, and I've been following his comic for, I don't know, probably a year or so now. And it's kind of funny, actually. I got my start in streaming when doing a fan piece for him of the Demon King in one of my favorite panels. It was a panel recreation contest. And he has an arc involving a board sword and the Demon King, and just makes me laugh a lot. And it was through those streams where I was broadcasting the paint of the fan art that I was fortunate enough to meet and become friends with this particular patron. So in a weird way, that's kind of led me to where we are today. I really enjoyed getting to do another piece of fan art for, the comic, and it was kind of a nice, fun callback. And it actually it was a celebration piece of the 1 year mark for that patron being the one to support me. So it kind of just felt like, hey, this is how we met. Why not do just a callback? Callback. Callback. Back. And, it was something I was really glad that he suggested. It turned out in just a funny little twist. Comics in general, I'm a pretty huge fan. Less so of the, Marvel and DC universe, although I have to confess I have a pretty deep and abiding love for Wonder Woman, just as my favorite superhero. And And to a lesser extent, it's been kind of interesting to look at the history of where she came from and where she was inspired from. So, for example, she was a response on the American side to the Canadian Nirvana of the Northern Lights. Lights, lights, lights. But yeah, I tend to lean towards the indie side of things, and having just watched over the past 10 years, seeing, indie comics and just online comics in general kind of explode has been incredibly exciting for me. I realized when I was about 17 that that was kind of what I really wanted to do. And, it's been awesome getting to see how they've developed and seeing how far they've come, and just overall getting to see them be accepted on a larger scale and seeing how they're being utilized is really, really cool. I've also been fortunate enough to meet several friends through comics, and I've been working on my own stuff in private for roughly that 10 years, which is a bit probably sad to admit, but I'm proud that it's something that I'm pushing more to the forefront now, and I've started drawing just a daily comic to get into it. It's something I've been preparing for. Now that it's, here in a reality, it hit me the other day. I've got this website. It was just like, oh my god, it's finally happening. So that's been really, really cool for me. And just getting to do these ASMR videos and getting to explore this type of content creation is incredibly, 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 incredibly exciting. So, it has occurred to me I haven't put in near enough trigger words, but hopefully you're enjoying the slightly rambly nature of this. If these go well in the future videos, I'll actually write scripts, but these first two are kind of just feeling it out and exploring things, and so I'm pretty okay with letting them be a bit more loose. And I'd probably be more than okay with doing some that are just trigger sounds by themselves with no talking. I honestly think it's a bit easier for people to get started in ASMR with sound-based videos that don't involve talking, so that's probably next on the docket now that I think about it. It's a little less weird, I think, to some than a stranger whispering, or speaking softly to you in the middle of the night. But, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. I think that's probably enough talking about kind of my artistic endeavors. I have a pretty short list of trigger words that I'd like to focus on that are relevant to the video. The first being artistic. I kind of cheated a little bit and used it early, but I'd wanted to see if I could seek it into a nice ska sound, because that's one of my favorites. I don't know. What do you think? Artistic ska. I kind of think that it doesn't work as well saying it out loud as it does writing it down on paper. I was hoping that it would work well with the click, click, click of artistic. Oh, there it goes. I tend to like some of the harder clicking noises. Like, click, and artistic. But also words like book, 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 book. Although I think some of them are better delivered when whispering. So maybe that will be something to try in the future. I also tend towards the slow triggers. But I know some people like them faster, which I think could be fun to try out and experiment with. Regardless, hopefully this has helped you relax, 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 and maybe even helped you sleep, 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 sleep. As always, I'd like to give a particular shout out to my patrons who support me on Patreon. Without them, I wouldn't be able to explore making this type of content. I'd also like to shout out my followers on Twitch who come and hang out with me 4 to 5 times a week while we play games and chat and hang out. It's been through the combined encouragement and support that I've actually made the leap into making the kind of content that I've dreamed about making for years. So thank you. And to those of you who are still awake, I hope you have a good day, night, or whatever it might be. Bye.